So just going to create an article within MediaPress. Obviously just the familiar block editor in WordPress. Just going to paste in this BBC article for now to keep things simple. You can see we got that there. So the first thing we probably need to cover is adding some images. You'll see that up here we've got these tabs. This is MediaPress specific. And we have this sort of version of the media library. The idea being that you can attach media to a post. And this is because there could be different teams like Fodesks that do this for them. The biggest problem really is just the media library can be slow once it builds up, and when you're working with inside the editor, it needs to be quick. So let's just attach two of these images here. So those are now attached in here. And what that just means is when the modal opens for inserting an image, it will only have those two images. So we'll just set the featured image, which is this. And this is a MediaPress specific feature, the adjust image variations. This is just a way for you to fix the crop points, because sometimes they're not as convenient as you'd want for, say, a home page or wherever else you have them. You can actually replace the image as well, but I'll just, for speed, just adjust these here quickly. And that's us done for those, so they're now got better crop points. Equally, if we were inserting an image in here, same again, you've just got these images here. So select that. So now we've got our images in there. And so from there, we might want to add some links. So something that we've done is just to make it a little bit easier to add links. We've got this concept of an entity link, which you go here and it can search different areas. So I'll just search Santander for now because it's just a test CMS. It's not going to have much content. You can see there's one there, and it would link that up. If we were going back to edit it, you'll see that there is things like Google as well. You can link up any third-party API. So the idea is if, maybe you've got affiliate linking systems that you want to link to, or shops or items or whatever you need, you can create that, or an external content store. So I'll just undo that. No, sorry, I've undone the actual link itself. I'll put that back in. There we go. Right, and then from there, obviously if we wanted to publish this article, we would hit the publish button, but you can see it's grayed out, and there's a little red thing up here which is basically telling us that we've got a checklist that we need to meet. And in here, we've got all these X's, and you've got little suggestions, which is basically things we'd like you to do, but we're not going to stop you from publishing, and these are going to stop you from publishing the ones with an X. This is just a rule set you can configure. Everyone will have different rules, and it's up to the publication themselves to configure these, but we give you some examples. This is a simple config file that allows you to build this up. So what we can do is we'll just close that. We've got byline and a few other things to sort out here. So let's close that, and we'll head over here, which is our meta panel. And this is just to make it simpler for us to control meta. Dev teams don't always want to work with WordPress itself. If they're an internal team, they might not necessarily know off the heart, but they do need to add fields and stuff quickly. So this just gives them a foundation. It all works in a JSON config as well, so it's dead simple. So I'll just add my byline in, offer if you're not familiar with the term byline. Why don't we just add in a little headline in here? You'll see these are counters, just to say, like, if you had a preferred limit or things need to be under a certain size, you can set them up. So in this scenario, we've actually gone 21 over, and I think I'll just delete some text. There we go, we got that green. I mean, there's no enforcement on that, but you could enforce that if it was important. Then taxonomies, just a bit easier when you've got a large amount of taxonomies to be able to pick in here and do stuff like primaries and any other stuff that you want to build. All these UI can be built from Gutenberg's own components. So, if you build something for a block, you can reuse it in here. You'll actually see this has gone yellow now. So we're actually good to publish. Just before I publish that, I just want to point out that we have site settings as well, which runs off a similar system as this. So for example, you can just use the same config system to create these here. We use these in projects for like ITP and stuff to control ads. As you can see in here, there's like paywall, DAM, analytics. So just whatever you need configured. So runs off the same system, so it's easy to use. So what we'll just do now is we'll just publish it, just so we've got it. So now you'll see the checklist is in here as well, just before you publish, just in case there's something that you're wanting to keep an eye out for. So that's being published now. We'll hop back to the editor. I think it's worth us just kind of showing revision. So essentially WordPress doesn't have a visual revision system currently, and it's something that will come in core eventually, but for now we wanted to add it in. So I don't know, let's say just we made a mistake. It's actually 94 of these that are going. And I just one thing on this title I just want to show you. If I change that back to 95, it's actually synced in the meta. So if I go in here and change it to 94 and you hop back, it'll update it. So it's a two-way sync between meta, and that's quite cool because you can have essentially fields that show in here but are managed in meta. It gives different people the opportunity to work on them as well long term when we enable collaborative editing. Anyway, I changed this to 94 just as an example because this will be helpful. And actually, I can do that for... We did set some titles in here as well that we should change for the SEO. So let's just say we all updated all those. I'll just save that. And then I'm just going to open the side panel, and just where the standard revision system is, you can click on it. And in there, it just highlights what's been changed. So that's been changed to 94. It was 95. But the cool thing with this is you've also got metadata, and that's where our title's actually stored. So you can see the title was actually changed, and the SEO information was changed as well. Quite cool because like companies like PMC and stuff, sometimes when they're debugging, metadata is actually a really important part of the article. What was changed at what time. So yeah, and obviously you've got the ability to restore these if you need. So I'm just going to jump back. And then I guess another problem that people run into a lot is when you're editing a post and you need to make an update to it, but maybe you want to verify it, or maybe there's just a workflow constraint why it can't go live right away. It could be evergreen content, for example. So for something like that, let's just say, like, I don't know, they've decided actually it might actually be 700 job losses, but we don't know. We still need to confirm, but we're going to make some changes here. So I've just changed that. We could do it everywhere, but for the sake of just doing it simply, what we have is this extra save feature, which is save without publish. So I'll just put job losses because we're not too sure what those are at the minute, and we're going to get those confirmed. So as you can see, it creates another version of the post, and down here it links them all here, so you can have multiple of these. You're not constrained to one, and you can hop back to the original anytime in case you abandon these changes long term. So I think from there it might be useful to see all the stuff that we can do within here. There is a feature that we built for NRC. It's not quite in core of NewsPress yet, but as we're working to be more of a community, we're hoping we can incorporate these features. But we've got editorial comments, which allows you to leave a note on the article level or stuff in line. So we might just say, need to check job losses information. So we can add that. All the people will see this note now that's in here. That's been added by me. You could add inline ones as well. So for example, if you were like, is that how you spell that? You'd be able to go in here, and there's the comment button here, and you'd be able to just say check spelling, and then you'd see in here. People can reply to these, and they can be resolved as well. Obviously, with just me being here on my own, it's a little bit pointless, but I'll just resolve that for us. So that's been resolved now, and I'll close it. And one other feature here is being able to soft delete. This feature we actually built originally in the Times, and NRC seen that and thought it was an interesting concept. But the idea is you can remove something, but it keeps it in there. So I don't know, we'll remove the surname. Not that that's a change you'd probably make, but it keeps a note of it, the fact it's been removed, and then you have the ability to toggle it off and on, essentially, if it's there or not. And then when it gets pushed at the front end, those won't be there. So yeah, and that just means like you can work on the article together with someone. It just makes that collaborative process easier. And then if we publish the article, what you'll see is it merges them together, and you've actually still got like things like the soft delete in there, so it's nothing's lost from those other variances. So yeah, so I think that gives you a pretty good overview of how MediaPress works.